Survival in war isn't always about the clash of armies or the roar of engines. Sometimes it's a silent struggle against the elements, especially the cold. In war-torn Europe during World War II, a simple fire could mean life or death. Fire brought warmth and hope, but it also risked exposing your location to the enemy. Even the smallest flame could betray you with a column of smoke. This is the story of how ordinary people, soldiers and resistance fighters learned to hide their fires. They found ways to harness heat without revealing themselves. It was a secret war, fought with ingenuity and a deep understanding of nature. The prize wasn't territory, but survival, another day alive. These quiet victories reveal our ability to adapt and innovate under pressure. This is a testament to the power of knowledge passed in whispers, keeping hope alive in the darkest times. In war, even the sky becomes a threat. A wisp of smoke could draw the attention of enemy pilots or patrols, turning a hidden camp into a target. Boiling water or warming hands could become a fatal mistake. Smoke lingers, its scent and sight betraying you long after the fire is out. For partisans and families in hiding, this was a daily fear. The problem was simple. Burning wood or leaves rarely burns clean. Damp green fuel made things worse, but dry wood was rare. Lighting a fire risked death. Going without risked freezing or starvation. It was a daily gamble, warmth versus safety. The need for a solution was urgent. People needed a new kind of fire, a fire that could warm, cook and comfort without sending a signal to the sky, a secret fire. The military recognized the danger of visible fires. Special forces needed warmth and hot food without giving away their position. The answer came from military science, solid fuel blocks or heat tabs. Made from chemicals like trioxane or hexamine, these burned with almost no smoke or odour. Soldiers could heat rations discreetly, leaving little trace. This technology was a revelation. Smokeless fire was possible. For those who had it, it was as vital as a weapon. But these fuels were rare, reserved for select units. Civilians and resistance fighters had to improvise. The idea of a clean burning fire took root. If the army could do it, maybe ordinary people could too. Without access to military fuel, people turned to their own ingenuity. They collected coal dust, often found near railways or bombed factories. To bind it, they used whatever was available, clay, mud or pulped waste paper. The mixture was shaped into small briquettes and left to dry in secret. Drying took patience, but the result was a hard, efficient fuel. These homemade briquettes burned longer and cleaner than raw wood. For those in hiding, a stash of these was a lifeline. Each briquette was rationed carefully, used only when truly needed. It was a symbol of resourcefulness and defiance, the key to surviving another cold, dangerous night. The secret of these briquettes was in their chemistry. Grinding coal into powder and compressing it with a binder increased its density and surface area. When lit, the briquette glowed from within, like charcoal, not with open flames. This glowing combustion burned hotter and more completely, producing almost no smoke. The result? Steady heat, little light, and near invisibility. A single briquette could smoulder for hours, perfect for long, cold nights. This simple science, born of necessity, allowed people to cook, stay warm, and remain hidden. The quiet embers were a triumph of practical physics in desperate times. In wartime, knowledge was as valuable as food. The recipe for smokeless fire spread quietly, person to person, through resistance networks. A partisan might teach a family, a farmer might show a neighbour. Sharing this knowledge was risky. It implied you had something to hide. Instructions were whispered, demonstrated in secret, and taught only to the trusted. This underground network was resilient. Even if one group was lost, the knowledge survived elsewhere. Sharing the secret built trust and solidarity. The recipe adapted to local materials, pine resin here, sawdust there. The core idea stayed the same, but the method was flexible. It became a living tradition, not a rigid formula. This whispered secret kept thousands warm and alive. It was a quiet act of resistance. The lessons of the smokeless fire live on. Today, survivalists and outdoor enthusiasts still value low-profile, smokeless fires. Modern techniques, like the Dakota fire hole, descend from wartime ingenuity. The goal now is minimal impact, not just stealth. Smokeless fires reduce pollution, wildfire risk, and environmental trace. Leave no trace is the new philosophy, rooted in these old skills. Learning these methods connects us to a history of resilience. The knowledge is practical, relevant, and teaches us to adapt. The silent fire endures as a symbol of human ingenuity. The smokeless fire is a story of innovation under pressure. Ordinary people, farmers, workers, parents, became inventors out of necessity. Their hands-on knowledge was born from survival, not textbooks. Making smokeless fuel required patience, intuition, and resourcefulness. It was science in the open air, with the earth as a laboratory. Each hidden fire was an act of defiance, a refusal to be broken by cold or fear. These small victories were as vital as any battle. True strength is often subtle. Cleverness, adaptability, and quiet endurance. The smokeless fire reminds us that innovation often burns brightest in the darkest times. Today, warmth and light are just a switch away. It's easy to forget that these comforts were once hard-won and dangerous. The story of the smokeless fire reminds us of a time when survival depended on courage and shared knowledge. These are lessons in resilience and community, not just hardship. By remembering and sharing these stories, we honour those who endured. Let's teach future generations about the quiet heroes who survived in the shadows. The legacy of the smokeless fire is adaptability and hope. It's a flame we must never let go out.